Now, it's no commonly held secret that the mysterious and all-powerful fictional organization known only as the SCP Foundation harbors some pretty terrifying monstrous entities that would make any modern horror monster quake in their boots. But you know what's worse than any one of these nightmare-inducing creations? An entire species worth of them. Let me introduce you to SCP-939, a lesser-known anomalous creature that has maintained a campaign of terror for decades, waging a secret war of blood-based cacophony while slowly unpicking the very foundation of those that contain it. Yeah. Hold on to your hats for this one. Hello internet, what's going on? And once again, welcome back to the most inquisitive channel on YouTube, Life's Biggest Questions. As per usual, I'll be your disembodied floating voice, Jack Finch, as today we curiously ask the question, what if SCP-939 was real? Roll the clip. For the curious amongst you, that clip was from 2018's Annihilation, directed by Alex Garland and based off the book of the same name by Jeff Vandermeer. And strangely enough, despite the creature being more bear-like than canine-like, it's actually a frighteningly vivid visual depiction of just exactly how and what these creatures would appear as. And even more accurate is the fact that the bear in Annihilation functions in the exact same manner that SCP-939 does, as in it can mimic the human voice and use it to lure its prey toward it. Yeah, it's probably best that I mention that, isn't it? Oh, and also, these guys are nicknamed with many voices. I told you it was going to be a spooky one, didn't I? As the record states, SCP-939 are a species of endothermic pack-based predators which display an atrophy of various systems similar to that of troglobitic organisms. Essentially, they're ugly as all hell and are really good at living in the dark and not dying. The skins of these creatures are highly permeable to moisture and appear as a translucent red, owing to a chemical compound similar to that of hemoglobin. Again, essentially, they're ugly as all hell and are, physically speaking, highly mobile sacks of blood. Gross. But also 10 points for creativity. Strangely enough though, despite being vastly comprised of blood, the species of SCP-939 possess nearly zero vital organ systems. Its central and peripheral nervous systems, its circulatory system, and its entire digestive tract are all terrifyingly absent. In fact, for a pack-based predator whose prime directive is to hunt and are evolutionarily adapted solely for that purpose, these creatures have no way to even digest their prey. And if you think that's weird, it doesn't end there though, because it's even hypothesized that SCP-939 have no apparent physiological need to feed. And it poses the question, what the hell has evolution been up to create these literal hellhounds that vomit up the carcasses of their enemies because they don't have room in their bodies for such a thing? That's disgusting and also just incredibly wasteful. And if that isn't already weird enough, guess what? Despite the absence of pretty much all of its vital organ systems, the species of SCP-939 are entirely capable of bearing live young. Of course they are. As if they couldn't get any more biologically messed up. So forget everything you thought about defeating these things easily, because they can breed at a staggering efficiency like a horrifying warren of blood-based rabbits that want nothing more than to tear your face off and then mimic your horrifying screams to lure other humans to their demise. What the hell, guys? What the hell? In fact, if the species of 939 were real, then it's a very real possibility that the historical course of our civilization may have been horrifyingly altered by the efficiency of these nightmarish predators. Remember when I said that these creatures were capable of bearing live young? Well, yeah, their offspring aren't exactly as you might imagine them though. The young that they give life to, or unlife maybe, are identical to that of a human child. Sorry, what? Yeah, you heard that correctly. SCP-939 give birth to a pretty much unmistakable copy of a regular human baby, although as you may imagine, things don't exactly end up in any kind of fairy tale ending. As several pretty horrific records state, during its infancy, the young of SCP-939 will exhibit the identical characteristics and actions of a human baby. However, as you may expect, after a certain amount of time, things soon resume their horrifying course of evolutionary action, and its young begins tearing off its own flesh, rips off its own head, and then emerges as a near identical 939 species, albeit considerably smaller than that of a full-size creature. What? Now imagine the implications of that though. You see, it's heavily referenced in the Foundation's records that a large multitude of dens of these creatures have been discovered on pretty much every continent on Earth. If they were real, imagine a primitive human society discovering one of 939's offspring out in the wilderness, thinking it to be a harmless, defenseless child in need of shelter, and taking it back to their small village to be raised as one of their own. Well, obviously, as you can imagine, things would have swiftly become a blood-soaked nightmare, but the thing is, SCP-939 actually has another anomalous trick lurking up its species' sleeves. Because if it wasn't already enough of an efficient nightmare-stalking predator, 939 also secretes an aerosol amnestic substance from its jaws. So not only is it perfect at stalking, hunting, and destroying its prey, anyone who survives an assault from 939, i.e. say in a small remote village, also can't even remember how or why their entire village has been destroyed in a bloodbath of carnage. How do you even begin to combat such a creature? And when we hypothetically apply it to ancient society, as it's widely accepted that SCP-939 have been lurking on our planet for thousands upon thousands of years, and without the technological advantages of a capable institution such as the SCP Foundation, then it's safe to assume that humanity would have struggled to emerge out of the Dark Ages. Forget the big bad wolf, forget Grendel, hell, even forget dragons. SCP-939 is the nightmare-ridden apex predator of humanity that uses fear itself as its weapon to lay its blood-soaked tendrils deep into society and sow its seeds of terror. Yeah, guys, if you couldn't tell already, SCP-939 is almost too good at being a horrifying anomalous entity. Well, if that's the case, then let's thank our lucky stars that we've got some pretty hefty plot armor, and these guys are just fictional. Right? Right? Well, there we have it, folks, the way that we see things going. If SCP-939 was real, it wouldn't be great, to say the least. What did you guys think? Have you got some kind of hypothetical weapon against these horrifying creations? Let us know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Before we depart from today's video though, if you'd like to continue on with the horror fuel binge that you are, and slip back down the rabbit hole of all of our SCP-based content, then why don't you check out our SCP-based playlist for all your anomalous enjoyment. Go on, click it. There's no amnestics, I promise. Well, on that note, folks, unfortunately that's what we've got time for in today's video. Just stick around all the way until the end. If you were a fan of this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button as well as that subscribe button, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. As per usual, I've been your disembodied floating voice, Jack Finch. You've been watching Life's Biggest Questions, and until next time, you take it easy.